Hey, what's up, everybody? How you doing? Episode number 434. Drink Until You podcast, the only podcast that lasts until the last drop. How the hell is your Sunday going? How the hell was your week? Hope everybody's okay. I hope you're safe out there. I'm drinking a couple of White Claws here. And I actually just started my diet, which is basically, in its most basic terms, like low carb is basically what I'm aiming for. So I'm just upping the protein, upping the fats a little bit, and lessening the carbs. I'm trying to stay under 50 a day. So I grab a couple of White Claws, and I'm like, oh shit, can I even drink these? You know, because, I don't know, usually booze is the opposite. It has all the carbs. So looking at these 12 fluid ounce cans that I have here, they're actually only 2 carbs per can. So this fits perfectly into what I'm doing already. I could have like 12 of these and still be good, you know what I mean? I don't think I have 12 left in my fridge, but... so that's what I'm drinking for the episode. If you got them, drink them. Bottoms up. Cheers, everybody. I already cracked that one open. But, yeah, only for 2 carbs per can. That's kind of amazing. So, anyways, we'll go ahead and start off with a video of the week. I only have a single one, but it's an epic one. And, you know, I've been talking about this forever. Essentially, every episode I've ever done, there's always one underlying theme. And that's basically, you know, hopefully you'll hear my words and take them to heart. But, you know, basically it's the don't drink and drive thing. And I'm always mentioning, you know, treat yourself to an Uber, treat yourself to a Lyft, get a taxi, call your mama, whatever, you know. And the newest one, the latest, greatest one, is a Waymo, which is a completely automated, like, taxi service, which is pretty wild that we're even living in the time that can exist. But it does exist, and I've been waiting for it to come to Dallas for, like, so long, since last year. I heard it was coming 2026. I don't think it's up and running, though I did see a Waymo on the road the other day. But I'm kind of thinking that's maybe just a test. Someone was testing it. Because here's the thing I thought about after I saw this Waymo stuck in the middle of an intersection. The reason it didn't know what to do was because of all the construction. I mean, if you live in DFW, you know it. I mean, I'm sure if you live in any major city, you know the construction is just never ending. So that kind of got me thinking. I was like, well, actually, it's kind of interesting. How does the Waymo know? You know, like if they're changing the roads all willy-nilly and, you know, turning one side of the road into a 2-lane, like how does the Waymo figure that out in real time while giving someone a ride? Well, I passed one on the road the other day and it was stuck in the intersection, and it was, you know, we had the green, so it was good. It's not like it was going to get T-boned from oncoming traffic. It had the right-of-way, except it didn't know what to do because of the construction. So it's blocking the intersection, you know, and I'm on the right side of it, so I just pass it on the right, and I'm looking through my rearview mirror, and I'm like, is it moving at all? I don't think it is. And it just sat there kind of like thinking of what to do, but it's also simultaneously like blocking traffic from taking their left. You know, you'll get like the yellow arrow, and this Waymo is sitting right in the middle and doesn't know what to do. So I'm sure they're working out the kinks, and I don't believe it to be out yet officially here in DFW. But basically my video of the week pertains to Waymo, and it's I love the caption of the video. It says the future is here. And this is from, well, they at least retweeted it on Twitter, at Whole Mars, WHOLEMARS, Whole Mars. And it says the future is here. And it's a guy getting a ride in a Waymo, and he's just barfing out the window of this. I mean, he's in rough shape. And, you know, normally that would be an issue. I mean, if that was an actual driver, they would, but they're like driving down the street as and the person in the car next to him, of course, is recording. That's the only way we got the angle. But he's just puking all down the side of the Waymo. I was like, dude, I mean, as messy as that is, as bad of a look as that, I mean, this guy's gonna regret that shit when he sees this video, but it's embarrassing, I'm sure. But I'm kind of, I have the secondhand embarrassment for him for going through that. But you know, at the same time, I gotta give this guy props, because he's technically not driving a car, which clearly, just from the amount that is coming out of this man, he should not have been behind the wheel. So I'm actually, as gross as it is and as, you know, kind of funny, and we could sit here and make fun of this guy for doing this, I'm actually kind of happy it's happening this way. And on top of that, he had at least the presence of mind to puke out the window, you know? I remember driving back with friends one night, and I can't remember which one of my friends it was that did it, but, I mean, they did not have the presence of mind to roll down the window, and they just, I mean, they let it go in my car. I had to pull over. And they're like apologizing to me drunkenly, like, I'll clean it up tomorrow. I'll clean it. I'm like, okay, whatever. I don't care. We got to get home. Like, I'm done with this fucking night, you know? But yeah, I mean, I got to give props to this guy. He's not driving. He's not drinking and driving. So, a toast to him. I mean, as messed up as he is, which clearly, I mean, his head's like a, you know, an infant. He can't hold it up. He's just like swaying everywhere and just barfing. And I got to give it to him for actually doing somewhat. I mean, he's beating this shit out of his body with alcohol, clearly, because he's like barfing it up. But I got to give him credit for, you know, not drinking and driving. So that's exactly what Waymo's for. And from the looks of it, I mean, it's only like a, I don't know, 13-second video. And from the looks of it, I mean, it's just the Waymo just needs to go through a car wash and it's ready for another passenger, you know, unless he started, you know, on the inside and then eventually opened the window. I don't know. I don't have all the details, but the detail I do have is this guy is not drunk behind the wheel, and that's what we need more of. So I applaud that, man. I applaud it. Cheers to him. I don't even think 12 White Claws could put me in that position. I mean, Jesus Christ, this dude had to be doing like everything. Oh, I'll never forget my worst drunk was like at one of my first apartments I ever had. And I picked the worst. You know, of course, when you're younger and you're drinking, you're going for cheap. You know what I mean? That's why we ended up drinking Mad Dog and horrible shit like that. Steel Reserve. I remember the day someone convinced me to get it. No, you'll like it. Get a Steel Reserve. And I was like, this is fucking dog shit. I am not drinking this. And they were cracking up because they knew it was going to be bad. But that's the day I learned about Steel Reserve. Now their seltzers, I will say, the Steel Reserve seltzers are actually quite nice. But yeah, one of the worst drunks ever was cheap wine from Walmart. And these are like, I don't know if you know what like a Hypnotic bottle looks like, but it's kind of, you know, fat at the bottom and got a tall neck to it. That's essentially the wine bottle that I got of the cheapy, sugary wine. And I got two of them because I was like, okay, we're going to party. And I was planning on, it was the start of the weekend. So one bottle was for one night, see how far I got, and maybe the next bottle for the next night. And yeah, I killed that first bottle the first night, and it ruined my entire weekend. I mean, it was not only the alcohol, but the sugar content on top of the alcohol. Dude, it was such like a dirty headache feeling kind of oh dude, and my stomach was torn up. I was basically sleeping in the bathroom after everybody left. It was horrible. So I really am starting to believe what they say about the quality of just anything. Like, just take food for example. If you're eating organic food and like grass-fed whatever chicken, then those are quality ingredients. So you're going to have better results, and I totally believe that to be true with alcohol. You get a bottle of Skull vodka and have 4 shots of it, you're going to be hurting. But you get a bottle of Grey Goose, which is higher quality, yes, more expensive, but you're paying for the quality. I mean, I can't ever remember having a hangover when I'm drinking Grey Goose. And I could drink a lot at certain points in time. But yeah, there's my video of the week, the freaking guy barfing out the Waymo. So anyways, let's have another drink. And it's been a great, by the way, I am watching a little bit of the All-Star NASCAR race. There was already a wreck in like the first lap of it. There was already a wreck. Blaney was in it. Poor Blaney. He always gets caught up in some shit that he doesn't deserve. He was not even a part of the wreck. He tried to steer through the wreck. And basically another car came down off of the hill, making it impossible for him to pass without hitting it. So he smacked the car. He has to go back and get repairs. Hopefully he's still running. But other than that, I'm trying to watch all the baseball today, man. I'm in such a baseball mood. I just went to a tournament, a local tournament, youth baseball tournament. And dude, it's mesmerizing, to be honest with you. It's honestly incredible, like the skill and the talent of, even like the under 14 kids. Like, I swear to God, dude, I was watching this older kids group, and this guy, I mean, they had to have like double and triple checked this kid, because I'm not even joking, he was like 6'5". He was tall and thin, but he was like 6'5", like probably, I don't know, I'd say 150, 160 pounds. He was a little bit thinner, but I was like, are we sure that this is not an adult playing out here? Because, I mean, good God. I mean, and the whole team was like that. I don't recall the name of the team, but the entire team is like, do these coaches only recruit you if you're like 6'2" and over? I mean, every kid on that team was a monster, and they could pitch, and they could hit, and they could throw. And it was honestly incredible to see, but I felt bad for, I didn't have a dog in the fight, but I honestly felt bad for, who hit that home run? Baltimore gets a home run, leading 3-0 over Washington. But it was just honestly incredible. I felt bad for the other team. I'm like, dude, are they playing men? I'm like, that guy has a full-on beard. There's no way he's fucking 14 years old, man. Like, no. But, yeah, I mean, I'm sure they double-check and triple-check and all that shit. But I just love the baseball atmosphere. So just imagine, like, 4 baseball diamonds. Well, I guess one of them wasn't being used. It was really just for practice. 3 baseball diamonds with a game going on it at any given time for different age groups. Dude, it was just so fun. I was just walking around the complex, watching a game. I'd move to another one. Maybe they were younger kids. I'd watch their game for a little bit. And, I just really enjoy baseball. I don't have to have a dog in the fight to root for someone. Like, I can appreciate a good throw from a kid who shouldn't be able to make that throw. You know what I mean? I'm like, damn, that was awesome. And they're just, at those younger ages, they can throw it. They're just working on the consistency of those throws and the accuracy. They have the power down, which is just incredible in itself for a kid to be able to throw that baseball from the outfield all the way to home in like a single hop. But, yeah, it was awesome, dude. I just love the atmosphere. The parents cheering. And now if you're a parent that talks shit about the kids on the opposing team, you're just a piece of shit, and you probably shouldn't come, because there is that out there too. I mean, the parents get a little overly competitive. There were no fights or anything, but once you start muttering things about the other team's kids under your breath, it's like, dude, they're kids. Like, what are you doing? That's so fucking stupid. So anyways, I didn't hear too much of that. I just kind of moved away from people doing things like that. Like, y'all are fucking losers, bro. I'm not going to listen to this shit. So just the atmosphere overall was great. Family friendly, of course. You got kids running around that aren't even involved, just goofing off, throwing baseballs, playing. They actually started on that empty field. A bunch of kids who weren't involved in the tournament at all got together and made up their own game. I mean, the lights were on. Why not? So I loved one of the teams, they were doing this thing to where they would yell when their guy was up to bat. They would just make noises until, like, through the pitcher, like throwing the ball, and they would stop, like completely go silent as soon as the ball's about to cross the plate. And I'm assuming we did this in soccer too. When it came to a shootout, I don't know where it came from, but we would always yell at the kids, that were on the other team that were about to take the shootout, the penalty shot, essentially. And we kept, "Your mommy loves you" was the phrase that I don't know where it came from. But you just imagine, like, 4 or 5 teenage kids yelling at another kid on the field about to take a penalty shot. "Your mommy loves you. Your mommy loves you." It's like, I don't know where it came from, but there was something deeper and psychological behind that saying. And that's why we all latched onto it. You know what I mean? So anyway, so there's a team that's, doing all these noises and stuff as they're up to bat, trying to psych out the pitcher. And so they're doing like, "Hey, buddy, and then that's when the ball would cross the plate. And one kid in there I was just dying. I was like, dude, I'm getting a sporting event and a comedy show all in one. There's one kid, he wasn't really even saying words. He was just going until it was time to stop. I was like, what the fuck? But that was their thing. I mean, it was a whole ass tournament, so I knew when that team was playing because they were like honking like geese, I guess, is the closest thing I can. It was strange, but also wildly entertaining. Just the psychology. Like this team in the dugout got together, and they've probably been doing this for years. They got together and said, "Yeah, we're going to yell at the pitcher. And that's the team we are. That's who we are. We're going to yell at the pitcher every time he throws it." I mean, it was every time. It wasn't just some of the time. It wasn't just when the count was full. It was every single pitch. They're just trying to verbally harass the pitcher, which is within the rules. And it just adds a fun element to it. And the other thing I noticed, man, that really just made me happy is, we all know the coaches, and the baseball dads and all this and that. They're going to encourage the kids. They're going to, hype them up, and they're going to use baseball lingo. You know what I mean? And what impressed me the most was, like, no matter what game I was at, the mothers sitting behind, the home plate, behind the cage, were, like, doing the same shit. Keep your head on a swivel, sweetheart. Hey, if he hits it, go to set. Like, the moms, I was just like, holy shit, they know their shit. Like, they knew what the next phase was. If it gets hit to you, here's what you do. Like, they were just on it. It was awesome, dude. I didn't know, this, hopefully it's not coming off as condescending by me saying this, but I just would expect, like a mom to show up and just cheer for the kid and be like, good job, or hey, it's okay, keep going. But to take it that further step, like, you can tell these are baseball moms. They're going to be baseball moms the rest of their kids' life. They know the lingo, they know the count, they're keeping score. It was awesome. And then they do the walk-up songs for the kids, which is a whole other thing. It was a great tournament. I have no idea who won, but it was still a lot of fun. So yeah, I can't wait for the next one. And this particular one was, I didn't know they even did this, but it was called a blackout tournament, which basically means, like, one of the first games the first night was at like 11:30 at night. You know what I mean? And I mean, I was out there till like 2-3 in the morning watching just these, random kids play sometimes, or waiting for my team's game or whatever. And I mean, we went to like 2 and 3 in the morning both nights. And I was talking to this guy. I was like, "You ready for some nighttime baseball?" And he was like, "Dude, I thought this shit was illegal. Like, aren't we supposed to be out of the park at like 10 o'clock? I was like, "That's actually a valid point, sir." Like, if you go chill at a park and you're there after hours and a cop rolls up on you, you're probably getting a ticket. It's actually happened to me before. Well, I mean, I got a ticket and the girl I was with got a ticket. I mean, we weren't like naked or anything. I mean, we were just talking and kind of making out, whatever, and that's when the cop rolled up on us. He's like, "You're not supposed to be in the park after this certain time." I was like, "Oh, I tried to play stupid." And it didn't work. But I was like, "Oh, I didn't know that. I'm sorry. We'll leave. No problem." And of course, they go, "What are you guys doing out here?" I was like, "We're just talking, And we were luckily sitting on a tailgate. We weren't like in a cab with the windows fogged up. That would have looked even worse. But yeah, he still wrote me a ticket. He's like, "Yeah, you can't be in the," and he wrote her a ticket too. He's like, "You can't be in the park this late." So that guy cracked me up. He was like, "I thought this shit was illegal." I was like, "You know what? Come to think of it, it should be." You know what I mean? Like, we're technically doing something we're not supposed to. I'm sure you could find the park rules somewhere that says this park closes at 10 p.m. or 9 p.m. But there we were, 2 and 3 a.m. watching baseball. And, other than the weird time, I enjoyed it. I would have preferred, to just have a regular, like, go home at 7 or 8 o'clock after the game and call it a night. But it was still a lot of fun, and they picked the weekend to do it, which does make sense. But, yeah, it was awesome, dude. I love that. I guess they were making like goose sound. I don't know where it came from, but it was hilarious. It was cracking me up, and I could hear them from across the whole park. And I was like, "Oh shoot, there's my team. I gotta go watch them play for a little bit." But anyways, let's have another drink. Cheers, everybody. Moving on to the NHL here real quick. We only have one more game, and that's tomorrow. Everybody else has moved on. The Golden Knights beat the Ducks. The only game we have left is tomorrow night, 6:30 Canadiens versus the Sabres. The Sabres push it to a Game 7, and they're at home, which is just a huge advantage, man. Like, I'm really pulling for the Sabres. But in the next round, you have the Golden Knights versus the Avalanche. Dude, I'm telling you, this is going to be the series of the playoffs. This is going to be bitter, hard fought. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a few fights. These teams are, I'm sure they already don't like each other, but in this scenario, in the conference final, dude, they're about, they're going at it. Essentially, they're about to go at it and hard at each other. So, and then whoever wins that Canadian Sabres series is in the conference final, and they'll face the Carolina Hurricanes. So it's dwindling down with the NHL, but dude, it's been just a great playoffs. I've watched as many games as I possibly could, and I haven't been disappointed. Dude, that first game between the Avalanche and the Minnesota Wild was just like, yeah, dude, that scratched such a hockey itch for me. Just, they weren't playing very great defense. Obviously, like, the score to that game was like 8-6 or something crazy. Defense was, lacking, but it made for a great game. It made for a great series. It was a short-lived series. I expected Minnesota to do a little bit more than that, but Colorado's on it, dude. That's what's going to make this series versus the Golden Knights so epic. The Avalanche have not stopped all season, dude. Like, they have just been on a they basically played this season as if they continued their playoff series from last year. Like, what did they win, like 10 or 11 of their first games or something this season? And they really haven't let off the gas pedal. So if you couldn't tell, I'm hyped, dude. This is gonna be an epic. So even the Hurricanes, whoever makes it to face the Hurricanes is going. I mean, if it's Montreal, Montreal has impressed me more than I expected, and I've been on the Sabres bandwagon all season. I probably outside of the Dallas Stars watched in second place would probably be the Buffalo Sabres games. So, and I love Lindy Ruff, dude. He's been around the organization for so long. He really, I hate to say it this way because nobody really technically deserves anything. You just earn it. But in my opinion, he deserves a championship. He deserves a Stanley Cup. I hope the hockey gods bless him this season with that. And the only reason I'm saying that is because my Stars are out. If it came down to the Sabres versus the Stars, I mean, you know who I'm going for. I'm looking for a little 1999 conclusion to that series. So, anyways, but yeah, it's been great, man. I'm super excited. Switching over real quick to the UFC. Let me finish this first one. Switching over to the UFC, my boy lost last night. The Dalmatian Costa. He looked good, Allen I was impressed. I was super impressed by Allen's fight last night. He was not running away. He was stepping up. He was stepping into the punches. He was taking him down. I mean, I haven't watched every Costa fight ever. Like, I can clearly see his record. He has some losses on his record. But I've never, in the past few that I've seen him fight, I haven't seen him get dominated by, with the wrestling like that. The last dude he knocked out by doing like a spinning heel kick. And the way the dude ducked down, I mean, it caught him right in the chin. And that was it. He did the same move against Allen last night, and Allen didn't duck down, but it hit him in the gut, and it was a good shot. But dude, Allen was just something else last night, man. I don't even know. That was incredible. And by the way, I'm watching this, on Paramount Plus now. I'm watching this on my phone as, baseball games are going by. And sometimes there's a lull in the game, so I'd like play, the UFC event. And, so I got to watch a little bit of both. I had my little sports haven. I had some live action baseball and then my UFC going on Paramount. But, great set of fights, man. They were really good. Who's the dude I didn't expect to lose? He lost by submission. Let's see. It was the co-main event. No, I'm sorry. It was Wellmaker versus Diaz. I honestly thought Wellmaker was going to win that one. I mean, Wellmaker is just tough. And, he said he'd been working on his boxing and all this and that, which is great. You got to have that. But, I mean, he got submitted. So it's like you can work on all the boxing you want, but if you're... And I'm not saying he has a horrible ground game. He doesn't. It's just... The guy caught him, he got on his back, he choked him out, and that was it. What was that, round 2, 408? So, yeah, great set of events. I'm in baseball mode now. I mean, especially as the playoffs, NHL playoffs. Like, I'm going to catch every NHL playoffs game now until the end, but there's only going to be one game on a night, so what's going to fill that gap is going to be... baseball, of course, man. I'm switching gears here. It's starting to change over. Once someone wins the Stanley Cup, that's all I got left anyway. And I love baseball, so it's not a big deal. I have a zillion games to watch, so super excited for that. In other news, real quick, on my YouTube page, go check it out. I posted a few videos. I'm actually super excited about my latest video by a band named Balance and Composure. I just love the bridge of this song. I had to learn it on bass guitar. I did learn it on bass guitar for the most part. I think maybe there's 2 notes that the original bass player that played on the track, there's maybe 2 notes in there that he went high and I went low instead. But I just loved learning that bass part. It's such a great, like, ambient kind of atmospheric bridge that they wrote. Guitars are kind of sparse and twinkling, and drums are kind of just steady, and the bass is really what's giving that whole bridge its rhythm and melody. And so I had to learn it, man. Before I recorded this yesterday, I just kept rewinding that bridge, listening to what he's doing, and I'm like, you know what? I just learn what he's doing. I'm just pick up a bass and learn what he's doing, and then I'll be able to play it, and that's kind of where the video came from. But yeah, go check it out. Follow me on YouTube. Follow me on Twitter at DrinkUntilYou. That's really the only places you can follow me anymore. On Podbean, I guess you could. Facebook has been deleted. Instagram has been deleted, to my knowledge, and I don't give a shit. I didn't really use those that much anyway. So those were my least favorite social media platforms. Facebook, when I first got it, was cool because it was really, aside from MySpace, it was the only newer kind of thing. So it was cool for a long time, but it just, I don't know, it lost its luster many, many years ago. Instagram, too. Like, I don't have that many pictures on my phone to, like, I don't take pictures of my fucking food to show you guys. Like, I'm not doing that shit. I don't even take pictures of my drinks anymore. That was kind of my spin-off. Like, okay, people do food. I'm just going to do my drinks that I'm drinking for the episode. But it's like, how many White Claw cans can I take a picture of and, like, this is what I'm drinking again? You know what I mean? So it just, the Instagram thing, I'm over it. And I really don't give a shit if they deleted my account. I don't care. I didn't ever use it. I was rarely ever on there. Dude, when I would log on to Instagram, it'd be like I'd have like 15 messages because I was not on there consistently enough to read all the messages being sent. So anyways, I got a lot of White Claw here. So if you got them, drink them. Bottoms up. Cheers. Let's see what's going on in this race over here. My boy Bell's still in it. This is an all-star race, so it actually doesn't count toward the standings, unfortunately. But I mean, every driver is going to want to win the race because you get $1 million if you win the race. So let's see where my guy is, driving the mobile car with the Pegasus on it. That's like iconic in downtown Dallas to me, was the Pegasus on top of that building, the Exxon Mobil building. Let's see, where is Bell? Oh God, where is he? Did he get wrecked? Dude, I swear to God, I'm not gonna say he's having the worst season, because he's in like 13th place overall in the standings, and I know this one doesn't count toward the standings. He's just, I don't know, man. He's just not having a great season. It's like he got wrecked out in the Daytona 500. Thanks for that, Hocevar. And is he wrecked? I'll have to look into it, man. I don't know. This is not cool. Like, especially after the 2 seasons I've been watching him, he's been kicking so much ass. Dude, last year he won 3 races in a row. He hasn't won a single race this year. I don't see him, dude. I don't see him. He's in 30... Oh, wait. It says he's off the track. It doesn't say he's out. It says he's off in 36th place. I don't know what the fuck that means. Jesus, man. Poor Bell. Well, if you ever hear this, Bell, keep your head up, man. You're doing great. Keep grinding. Let's go ahead and have this last drink. Cheers, everybody. And yet another wreck. All right, everybody. That's going to do it for me. As always, don't drink and drive. Treat yourself to an Uber. Treat yourself to a Lyft. Treat yourself to a DoorDash. Treat yourself to a Waymo, even if you have to puke going down the highway out the window. Treat yourself to a Waymo. Just be safe out there. Don't drink and drive. Don't be a fucking idiot over this. All right, everybody. I will talk to you next week. I love you all. Bye.